going on, Toy Story fans? As you'll notice, I am on a new channel. This is now Rare Toy Story 2. Uh, the reason for that is I'm keeping the other channel, definitely keeping that. But for the longest time, I've been trying to get monetized, for a while, and it just keeps coming back that reuse content, whatever. Uh, Everything you make has to be your own, and I get that. It's just so complicated, just due to the nature of the whole Rare Toy Story concept. Like, naturally, there's just gonna be a lot of reused content to share with you that's super rare. Uh, the most obvious example are the Rare Toy Story on Ice videos. And that alone, I just can't take those off of there because, well, at least not the first Toy Story on Ice, because that's the only place it exists. So it's like, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, just how it, just how it was, there was just no way around it, no way to get monetized. So I finally gave up on trying that. I even just recently deleted like a ton of videos on that channel. Just more just stuff like nothing too crazy, like McDonald's commercials like that weren't rare. Like short videos that I did make, but I wasn't sure if they would count that as reused content because they're so vague about it, and they don't tell you what videos count as reused. So it's such a hassle. So I'm just like, you know what? Let me just make a separate channel. Like, that's just the only way this is gonna work out, if it works out. I don't know if I'll be able to reach that requirement of, like, I think it's 1,000 subscribers and like 4,000 views or something like that. But I'll just see what happens. Maybe I'll re-upload to this channel some of my stuff that I've posted on there that's not copyright. And I may have to edit out, because some videos I definitely put copyrighted music in. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if it's really worth all the hassle, but just a fun experiment, I guess, if anything. So anyways, that out of the way, I don't know how many people actually found that interesting. But what I wanted to talk about was, so for Mattel's, what is it, 7-inch, 9-inch line? Something like that. They recently, well, it was probably closer to a year ago at this point, which is kind of wild. Sometime last year, they released like a 7-pack of figures, and it was a really awesome set. And I actually never picked it up. I never got around to getting it. I was just like, as much as I want this, I only mainly want it for the one figure in it, because 65-ish dollars for mostly just common characters, common figures, wasn't really something I was willing to do. And I know with Amazon exclusives, they almost always go down pretty cheap if you wait long enough, and sure enough it did. And so I finally pulled the trigger on it recently. I have yet to open it up because I wanted to make a video for you guys, because I thought it would be fun to talk about, because this is a pretty fitting thing. Pretty how do I put that? It's got Sharky in it. Mr. Shark, whatever the shark you want to call him. Just to get that out of the way. Okay, so anyways, when this arrived, it came in this huge Amazon box, and I'm like, why is that so big? Like, there's no way it takes up that much space. And sure enough, I opened it, and it did take up most of the box. I was not expecting it to be this big. I know these figures are like 7-inch scale, roughly, but still, it surprised me that it was that large. So anyways, the packaging is super nice. So as you'll see, it's Andy's bed. How cool is that? It's got some text on it, but knowing Mattel, I'm surprised it's not covered in like all kinds of logos and stuff all over it. Like, they they showed some restraint here, surprisingly. Um, I think I probably would have preferred not having the characters shown underneath, but at the same time, it is a nice touch. And yeah, um, oh, actually, that's like on the box under it, isn't it? How does this? What in the world is? I'm just realizing how wonky this is. This is like not shut properly. What is going on here? I don't know. Yeah, so this box isn't in like mint condition by any means. So if I beat it up a little bit, I'm not too worried about it. Okay, that's okay. Woody, what are you doing? uh, that's a really cool setup. I almost hate to take them out, but yeah, I'm taking them out. Oh yeah, I think it's pretty amusing. You can kind of use this as a bed for regular Woody doll or Buzz if you wanted to. That's pretty amusing. Like that's a good reference of scale here. I'm really surprised how much effort they put into doing this packaging, because it's like it's an Amazon exclusive. You don't. It's a lot different than going to the store and seeing this box on the shelf, which they would never, probably never sell something like this in a store, just because that takes up a lot of shelf space. They could do it, but yeah, it makes a lot more sense for them to do something like this on Amazon. So, interestingly enough, I don't actually have all of these figures. Obviously not this guy, because this is the only way you can get him. But, let's see. I had Woody, of course. And then I had a Rex, or have a Rex. The gaming version came with, like, different movie accessories. And the only other one I had previously was Rocky, which the interesting thing about Rocky is that he actually was never released here in America, or most places. He was supposed to, and I even remember at my local Walmart seeing packaging of like Woody and Buzz, or at least Woody, I know. In the back of the package advertised that wave, like, it had Rocky on it, but yeah, he never made it here, and I thought I was never gonna get him, so I was like really bummed out, because you know it's the most accurate official Rocky. But someone was so awesome from the UK, and they actually sent me a Rocky, and I actually still have the packaging for that. I have the Rocky put up in a box at the moment, so I can't really compare them, but as far as I can tell, they are exactly identical, which is wonderful for everyone who didn't get a chance to get him, because most people wouldn't have him in the States, so, or a lot of places, honestly. So I think it's super awesome that they released him for so many people to easily get a hold of now. And honestly, pretty cheap. How much was this? I think when I got it recently, it was $25, and there was also like a coupon that made it like closer to $20, and that's for all the figures. So yeah, I am not complaining about having another Rocky in my collection, because this is one of the coolest figures they've ever done, and I also think the yellow, the whole color scheme is very appropriate to the yellow Rare Toy Story logo. So just all around, just a rare figure, rare character. I always thought Rocky was cool. Let's get out Woody. So here's Woody. Nothing to really say much about this guy. If you have him, he's a pretty decent figure. Just kind of more or less what you'd expect from this line. Uh, yeah, not bad. Definitely missing some of a little bit of paint work that you would hope it would have, but for the price and everything, you can't expect too much from it. Now, Woody's hat is it's got a little bit of a bite taken out of it. It's a bit different. It's got a peg in it, And if you're not familiar with what's going on there, we'll get back to that in a minute. But this was not meant for Woody. I mean, you can use it for him, but it it looks a bit ridiculous. Not gonna lie. I think someone else would rather wear that. I finished cutting all of these out of their plastic prisons, whatever you want to call that. Let's get to Rex. Rex is in a couple pieces because he takes up a lot of space, so he needs to have this little one-time assembly, and you just do that. Rex is a cool figure, nothing like too crazy. He gets the job done, you know. He's exactly what you'd kind of expect, what you kind of hope out of this line. You know, nothing new for the set by any means. Now the alien feels a bit of a just kind of a random throw-in. Like it's not even a figure. It's like a half a figure or 1/3 of a figure. You know, and he's not even in Andy's room in the first movie, which this is definitely based on. So it's just kind of just feels like an afterthought, like maybe just to kind of set the price, you know, help justify it. Maybe they just wanted to have 7 figures, and with the box already being this big, they just kind of, this is all that would fit. This is one that I remember seeing in stores when Toy Story 4 came out, and pretty much only then. I know he was in like different multi-packs and whatnot, but yeah, I never ended up picking him up, although he looks pretty fun. He's definitely bigger than I was thinking he was, and I don't know if it was for safety reasons or they're just cheap and didn't want to use real metal slinky. Whatever the reason, he's very unique. He's got one of these kind of gimmicks, which I've definitely seen pictures of people having these where they get really chewed or worn or whatever over time. So kind of fragile there. But yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it's a really good likeness. I would love to have a Slinky this accurate in, you know, full scale. But I mean, this is nice though. I like this figure. This is cool. You know, it's got good posability. Yeah, it's Slinky. It's hard to hate Slinky. Okay, so here we have a look at him. I was never too excited to get this one because it's got that big seam line in the middle, and I just always thought that looked really ugly. In person, it's not great, but I don't know. I remember those photos being like a really big seam, like really ugly. It doesn't look as bad here, but still not too crazy about it. I feel like they could have probably gone about that a little bit differently. Initial impressions, it's actually pretty heavy. Another thing I never liked about it was it's got this weird design choice where the hole is like got this really blocky area around it, which I don't know why they did it like that. It's got this oversized cork area, but it is a real functioning bank if you really wanted to use it as a bank, so I get why it's like that. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad, you know, I like it. I definitely like the weight to it. It surprises me, and since I have this next to me, I figure I could do a little small comparison. So anyways, let's get to the main event. The reason we're all here, at least the reason I had to get this set. I can't believe it took me this long. Like, a few years ago when I was so obsessed with Toy Story, I would have got this day one, no doubt. But I was like, oh, I'm patient enough at this point. Like, yeah, this is awesome. I have no idea how in the world did we get a proper Mr. Shark action figure when this line had already long been dead. In a line that we didn't even get a proper Toy Story 1 Bo Peep figure. Like, when they recreated that poster from the first movie using figures, they had to use the doll version they made of her from Toy Story 4 just to recreate that. But anyways, the top fin is rubber, which is nice because, he's supposed to be a rubber shark, so it's very appropriate. And even the back fin piece is rubber. Very cool. It is articulated. Now you can debate whether or not it's fully accurate, because if you've seen, which you likely haven't, like, there is no back fin on the original model. It just like curves down like pretty dramatically for some reason. But I guess that's just because, he's always peering out over the toy box. Like, actually, hold on. I thought it was appropriate, given the box was based on Andy's bed, that I would also show this. It's a playset that's got the toy chest design on it. And, well, yeah, that's what it looks like unfolded. It's really awesome set. But anyways, when he's in the toy chest, he'll, like, pop out of it, and you never see the bottom of him anyways. So they didn't need to model the full thing when you're not going to see it. And given, this was the first computer animated movie, they had to be, like, resourceful with what they modeled and spent their time on. So, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And, well, Mattel, obviously not knowing what the back of him looked like, they could take some creative liberties, just kind of assume what it would look like, and that's probably pretty accurate. Yeah. I mean, obviously, even though the model, like, curves down like that, it wouldn't make any sense for the toy to actually do that, Because, he's a shark, he's gonna look like a shark. So, yeah, they did pretty good with him. I think that's pretty much how he would look. You can see his squeaker in there. It's not painted, but that's okay. Yeah, it's a very good likeness. He does have... Oh, these side fins are also rubbery. They're a little harder. They're not as soft as these parts. They do go up and down. Look at me. I'm Woody. Howdy, howdy, howdy. So, yeah. And I think it was obvious, but here he is. This part slides in, and he wears Woody's hat. And yeah, that's a pretty awesome feature. I love it. It's so fun. I personally wish they didn't have the peg in there. I wish they didn't do it that way, just because now when he doesn't have the hat, he has this hole in him, which, what are you gonna do? I do think it's a fun gimmick, given that that's the only thing he does in the movie. It makes sense that they would do that. And I know, like, normally with the, like, 2 times he's been released as any kind of figurine, I think he always has a hat on in those. The Buddy figure, and I think there was something else. He's not super heavy, but I mean, I just can't believe they made this. Like, the line hadn't even been going for a while, right? Like the Lightyear movie, which came out before this set, I believe. Yeah, definitely. That didn't get 7-inch line figures. Onward was probably the last movie, I want to say. No, well, Luca probably had some too. And Mattel's done some other lines, like Featured Favorites and the Spotlight series, which are sadly no longer a thing. I would love to see them do more characters like this. I'd love to see them bring this line back. Even if it just has to be like multi-pack sets on Amazon. Like, whatever they gotta do for, like, I mean, there are so many characters they could do in this line. It would be so cool. I don't see them doing it, but I would love to see them do an articulated Andy, Sid, Scud, a about that size. Obviously, they wouldn't be in scale with the toys. You know, there's just no way that would make sense to make that work out. And I get the nature of it being Toy Story that you would. It's just so obvious to make toys of the toys, but like once in a while, you know, there have been some toy companies that have made figures of those characters. I mean, even from Burger King, there was a Scud figure. It's just so cool when you get figures of the non-toy characters too. But I don't know if this line's gonna come back. Right now, they're just doing these storyteller sets. They're like 3 packs of characters. I don't think they're doing any Toy Story ones that I can think of, but I'd love to see them do new characters that we haven't got yet. Honestly, I know I'm dreaming, but if this guy was in this set, how freaking cool would that have been? It would have been so perfect. He would have been, I don't know, wouldn't he have been like roughly this size? So they could have done it. If they were looking for a filler character that wouldn't take up too much space, they could have put him in instead of this alien. And it wouldn't have been all that difficult to make. He's a he's a circle with arms and legs. Like, oh man, I know I'm dreaming, but like since it's a Andy's room pack of figures, like it would have fit so perfectly. But maybe next time, if there ever is a next time that Mattel makes a more of these figures, maybe, just maybe, they'll do Hockey Puck. So, just to give a quick glance of the inside of the box, there is the Pixar ball, or Toy Story ball, Luxo ball, whatever ball you want to call it. A random sock, very random, and a grape soda badge. The thing about that I always find so funny is people always look at that and say, hey, that's a reference to Up, and I'm just always thinking like, technically it's a reference to Up, but really Up was referencing Toy Story. They had the grape soda from, most prominently seen in the Buzz Lightyear toy commercial, those cans, and that's what the Up badge was a reference to, I believe. So, so it's kind of confusing when they're, because Pixar references their own references, so it gets hard to know what's even from what, if that makes any sense. But let's get these guys all together. So yes, definitely a great set. I would love to see this line return. Definitely pick it up if, especially if you don't have a lot of these figures. I only had a few of them. I gotta say, I'm really impressed with this Slinky, honestly. This is one of my favorite, this might be my favorite figure out of all of these. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I love the shark. Like, oh man, okay, the shark might be my favorite, but like, this is the most fun. I'm gonna say that. Like, that's fun. Like, I love how, like, look how much he stretches out. That is so cool. But, so, I don't know what all I plan to do with this channel. So, the thing is, Rare Toy Story used to be an Instagram thing, and I would occasionally do some YouTube videos, but it was primarily Instagram, and now that I'm completely done with Instagram, I have so many ideas for YouTube videos that I could do that I just kind of never got around to, things that I wanted to talk about, videos I wanted to make. So, and I think what I plan on doing is, it's not going to all be Toy Story. Like, I'm going to probably do like other action figure reviews and unboxings. If you'll see back here, I have quite a lot of these Funko sodas that I got for $1 each. They were really marked down, and I wanted to do a video of that, so that's coming soon. And a video that I've been planning to do for years. I never showed this off. And I've teased it multiple times before. You may have seen it in the background of my Sid's toy videos. This is a store binder that contains an image that I don't believe anyone has ever seen. Like, it is so rare. It does not exist on the internet. I have been so excited to show this off, but I've just never got around to showing it. So, stay tuned. That's coming soon. I plan on showing this soon. But, gives you something to look forward to. I hope you... I hate asking people to subscribe, you know? It's like... It feels like begging, you know? Like, please share. You know, it's like, if you want to, you can subscribe, you can do all that. If not... It's fine. It's a toy channel. It really doesn't matter all that much. This is just for fun, guys. But yeah. It's just for fun, guys, you know. But I thank you guys for checking this out. I'm really excited to see what comes out of this, and yeah, just know that Jesus loves you, and God bless you guys. Peace.
Oh, finally. Oh. Hey, who's got my hat?
Look, I'm Woody. Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Aha, aha.